go live.
Yay, as I try to change my window.
Oh, yes. Next week, I'm going to have a different background as well because this place is going to be, I don't want to say remodeled, but just like the interior is going to be a bit different. So hopefully that'll be better for me because I know I went from like 15 different backgrounds lately. But welcome everyone to the Hylian Gamescast, episode 180 something, 186, I'm being told off screen by Donkey Kong, I believe. Maybe it's Cranky Kong. I can't really tell the difference between them if I'm being completely honest. But here we are. And we have the Geek Apprentice. We're going to be talking about a bunch of weird, controversial stuff that's been going on with Tears of the Kingdom lately in the community. Sorry, we are a little bit late. I will be trying to make the layout that we see on screen a little bit better while we are going through all of this. So if I'm not as active with the chat, I apologize, but Geek is here, and we will be ending it, if we have enough time, with Triforce Trivia, as well as answering questions sent in from all of you. So I guess let's get started. Let's catch up first on, before we get to Tears of the Kingdom, let's catch up on last week. I was fortunate enough to have Commonwealth and HMK on. I apologize, I wasn't able to have the time work right for you because weird time stuff. Yeah. But some of the conversations we had was about the new Mario Nintendo Direct that they had, or the Mario Direct, whatever you want to call it, about the Mario movie. And we have the, well, let's start there, the Mario movie. You've seen the trailer, I think.
Yeah.
Miyamoto hand delivered it to you on a USB drive. He like tapped on your window and you were like, what are you doing? Don't throw it through the window, just come through the front door. And then he gave it to you. Of course, you got to see it 3 weeks early because you're best friends with him. So what are your thoughts on it?
It definitely looks better than I was going to give it credit for. If anyone's seen any of my stuff, I hate the idea of games being made into movies. I think it's a terrible idea. But Mario being so cartoonish and silly as it is, I think Illumination was a good studio to work with. And I think it's good that Nintendo had a heavy hand in it. One, because of what we got with last time, years and years ago. But also because Illumination isn't the greatest studio in my opinion. I mean, I did not like _𝗵𝗲𝗄𝐴. I thought it was a terrible movie and not funny at all. And then, of course, it just went off the rails with Minions. But they do have good animation skills. Can't deny that. I think the voice actors are doing a really good job. Jack Black as Bowser is great. That was an excellent choice. And I know there was controversy around Chris Pratt, not just because of Chris Pratt himself, but because it's not. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. Can't remember his name. I feel terrible. It's gonna hit me like a ton of bricks later.
All right.
But oh my gosh, that bothers me.
No, it's
but
okay.
I think
maybe someone in the chat. It's CM.
Someone will.
But I'm not gonna give it to you. But maybe
Charles
someone
Martinet.
in the chat. Yeah, okay, yeah, there you go.
Charles
He was
Martinet.
nice enough. I said like a happy Mario Day. Please remember to celebrate thinking about Charles Martinet, and I tagged him, and he liked it, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
It's like the only interaction that I've had from him that was well, I won't say the interaction I had with him was negative. It was just at E3, Daniel and I went up to him like 2 or 3 times, and each time he was like, I'm sorry, I'm on my way to a meeting. If you see me towards the end of the show, then I'll have time to sign stuff, but right now I'm on my way to a meeting. And we're like, aw. But yeah, he was really nice. But this was like the one time it was, even though it was just like a little like on Facebook.
Just always caught him at the wrong time in the wrong place.
Exactly.
Which, because from what it sounds like he's a cool dude. But I know people were upset because it wasn't him. But whatever direction they seem to be going for the movie, I think Chris Pratt's doing good. I like the direction that they went for the accent because that is technically where Mario is from. He's not actually Italian, like he's Italian, but he's from Brooklyn, So I like how it sounds. The other voice actors sound good to me. I like that they got involved in the direct. I like that they're involving side games. I think it's good that it's short. It looks like it's going to be a really short film. The only thing that might bother me is Peach, not her voice actress, but the direction they take with Peach. I am not a fan of the whole, let's just make everything girl power. Let's just make the extreme strong female protagonist. And it's like, not to go on a whole rant, but it's that idea of like being gentle and prim and proper is somehow a sign of weakness. And I'm like, those are not synonyms. She could be traditional Peach. But I know they're playing off of the fact that Peach is playable in a lot of games. But I don't like the tough and rough common stereotype we have now with female protagonists. I mean, I know she's not the protagonist. I just find it annoying because it looks like people are trying too hard. So hopefully they don't go too crazy with that, and that she does have a lot of delicacy and a lot of gentleness too, because that's how I always knew Peach, and I think that's a good thing. But that's the only thing I'm probably kind of concerned about. Other than that, it looks really fun, and what they depicted of Rainbow Road looked fun. And I know they were talking about how like they got like new software and everything to be able to really make Rainbow Road give that feeling that us players have always had, whether you've been playing since the first Mario Kart game, because Rainbow Road shows no mercy, or if all you've ever played is Mario Kart 8, and in which case you've experienced a lot of Rainbow Road, because there's like so many of them. So, in my opinion, it looks like it's going to be fun. I'll probably end up going to see it, even though I don't have much of an interest of it. But I don't feel like it's going to be a terrible movie. It's definitely going to be a lot better than the Mario Bros. Movie.
Yeah, the interesting thing that I noticed was that they did say that they were using a bunch of new effects, and I think that was just them talking just to get people excited, because in every new movie they're always like every studio is coming up with different stuff to use.
Yeah.
But it did seem like they went out of their way to make, especially the lighting and stuff on Rainbow Road and everything, a lot. Like there is a noticeable difference between that and some previous films and the way that they've looked, which the previous films, I really liked the new Grinch animated movie that they had. And of course everyone loves the Minions. I love the meme of everyone that like going to see the Minions or Despicable Me, and they're like, it's just like a bunch of people all dressed up in tuxedos to try to look the part while they're going to the theaters. I love those. But yeah, I think this is I think this might be, I think it'll be the best video game movie, or movie based off of a video game, animated or live action, that has come out, just because it seems like it's going to get to that level. Like we remember how many people made fun of Sonic when it was first shown off, and then they ended up changing the character designs and a couple of things, and it ended up releasing and doing really, really well to where it got a sequel, and now there's, I think, a third movie coming as well.
Didn't know that.
And the Pokemon movie, which everyone was really iffy about, they're like, live action Pokemon, they look like they have real fur, that looks weird, what's wrong with mime? So yeah, this one, I haven't really, the only complaints that I've heard was, as you mentioned, with Chris Pratt, but in that case it was just like, why is it not Charles Martinet, or why does Chris Pratt have to be in everything? So,
which actors go through phases like that. Because I was thinking about that concept recently. I'll try to make this tangent short. Where why is it suddenly you'll find for like a good few year stretch that you have the same actor or actresses in everything, and it gets really annoying. I'm like, why is that a thing we're doing now? And then I realized that's how it's always been. Like since the dawn of cinema, you'll have those few that everyone really likes, and then they use them in everything. Like that girl who's in the Wednesday TV show. I don't watch that because it's not my taste.
I can't think of her name, but yeah, she's
apparently that, or I'm noticing her.
Jenna,
not because I actually watch her stuff, but
Jenna Ortega.
I have no idea what her name is.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently she's like in a ton of stuff. The girl who played MJ in the Tom Holland Spider-Man is in everything. There's a few actors and actresses like that. But part of me says you know what? If they're in everything, it's because they're good. It's not like Chris Pratt's a bad actor. Like, he is good. There have been some actors and actresses that I'm like, why are they in everything? They're not even good. Personal opinion, Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't think he's that good. I think he plays the same part all the time, and so does Tom Cruise. Except I liked Inception. So that was a good Leo one. But hot take. That has nothing to do with gaming.
What can I say? The only thing that I know the actor from is Parks and Recreations, which he went through a complete body transformation before he joined on the Avengers or the Marvel stuff with
Avengers.
Yeah, with Guardians of the Galaxy. And he has the funny moments in both. And
yeah,
I wonder if it was just his broad appeal from being in the Avengers, which is like, oh, let's have him on.
Yeah.
Actually, earlier did I say Chris Evans, which is Captain America, not Chris Pratt?
I don't think you said Chris Evans.
Okay.
Chris Evans has been in a few other things too, but I never watched them.
Yeah, that would be a completely different Mario that I would imagine if Chris
Evans...
can't
picture Chris Evans.
Yeah, like a Captain America Mario.
That'd be weird. I think Jack Black was the best casting out of everyone, though.
Yeah, because, well, I know Chris Pratt. I read interviews and stuff even before he was cast as Mario, like a long time ago, when I was trying to find every little tidbit of information I could about almost all the Avengers actors, because I was kind of addicted for a bit, like around the Infinity War Endgame time. And
so good.
He would be talking about like playing Mario and Zelda and Nintendo and stuff when he was younger. So
yeah.
At least he is a fan of the series, so he would kind of take it seriously, as opposed to someone who just doesn't care, like whenever they did the first Mario movies. And I think the director and writers literally, I think they played like part of the first level, like World 1, Level 1, whatever. And they were like, okay, I get it. And then they wrote a story completely just based off that. And I seen this really hilarious meme that someone posted, because I don't know if you've seen on like Twitter and Facebook and stuff, everyone's doing those weird AI, artificial generated images and stuff. And
which there's a lot of controversy over, because apparently they actually steal from real creators without
because it uses images from all over the internet. So like as long as it can search to get an idea of how something's supposed to look, it'll use that. But there was someone who posted something that was like, oh, I went to ChatGPT, or it wasn't ChatGPT, it was like some artificial thing, and I asked it to turn the Mario movie trailer into a 90s dark sci-fi movie, and then it had images of the 90s Mario movie, and I'm like, oh my god, that is great. Because it's like Yoshi is like a real dinosaur, which just looks so weird. And then but there's a big focus on Mario Kart with the new Mario movie, which I like to see. We've seen Donkey Kong with the fire power mushroom, or not mushroom, but the fire plant, whatever, that gives you the fire abilities. And it makes me wonder, like, why has there never been, like, there's been Mario and Donkey Kong games, because that's how Mario started, as Jumpman or whatever, but there's never been an actual 2D platformer, like traditional Mario or Donkey Kong Country style platformer with Mario and Donkey Kong in it. But he's in Mario Kart, he's in Mario Party, he's in Smash Bros, they're in Mario and Donkey Kong Jr. together and all that stuff. He's even one of the characters in Mario plus Rabbids. And I think it was HMK who posted a tweet that's like mentioning something about it. And I was like, yeah, why have we not got this game yet? Like, why is that not a thing? Because it showed them both jumping along, and they both have like completely different attributes, because they always try to make the Mario characters in games and even the Donkey Kong characters in games different. Like Dixie Kong can like use her hair to float a little bit further, kind of like Peach in the Mario games. Luigi can jump a little bit higher and stuff like that. So it was like, oh my god, this would be like the ideal game if they would actually just make it. But yeah, Mario Kart was a big thing that they had. So what were your thoughts with the new Mario Kart DLC that seems like it's come out around the same time. I wonder if they're going to be putting characters from the movie in to help kind of tag along and promote the movie, or do you think it'll be different characters? Someone mentioned previously that it's more focused on bringing previous characters back to the game, but I don't think they would just waste this opportunity on bringing old characters back that apparently no one's had much of a problem for not being there previously. So
it'll probably be a mix
of
like maybe characters from the movies that we've never seen in the game before, and maybe other ones. It'd be interesting if we had like
Zelda. That's mine.
Zelda would be awesome, especially because of Tears of the Kingdom coming out. Like short-haired Zelda. It'd be cool if it was like Breath of the Wild Link with the ancient outfit. But we already have Breath of the Wild Link, so probably not. But anyway, it'll probably be a mix. I'm just excited we're gonna get new characters. It'd be awesome if they added the double dash feature, but you know, that's just me.
The double, that would be like a great DLC, because they could just put that on. That would completely change the way that it's going. But I think that would be more like my theory on Breath of the Wild, where it's like, why did they not add all this cool stuff in Breath of the Wild, like the underwater exploration and stuff like that? And the idea that I had was like they added so much to Breath of the Wild that they needed to purposefully hold back certain things. That way they could actually have something to add on the sequels to make it not just the same thing all over again, but actually add something different.
Oh, by the way, Aaron asked, is the audio trailer meant to be playing over us?
Oh, sorry. That
Probably
was
not.
No, that was not a thing. I thought I had muted it previously. That was a different source that I muted. I apologize.
Also, apparently people are heated that I don't like Tom Cruise's acting.
Well, funny note, there was a bit of a misconception a long time ago that there was a 80s movie named Legend with Tom Cruise that is very similar to Zelda and came out around the same time as The Legend of Zelda. And there was a misconception that Zelda was based off of that movie. The game took inspiration from the movie. And then there was a misconception that the movie took inspiration from Zelda. And it's like, no, they were both in development in completely different countries.
Yeah.
At the same time. So it would have been impossible to do that. So, but that is something that's kind of related to take Tom Cruise back to... No, is it Tom Cruise? Wait, did you say Tom Cruise or Leonardo DiCaprio?
Cruise.
Tom Cruise. I think it was Tom Cruise in the movie. I don't know. It was
They're both one-note actors.
Yeah, basically. It's like any Tom Cruise movie he's running, any Leonardo DiCaprio movie, he's like, oh, a boat. So characters. Mario Kart. Who do you like to see at it?
Also, Jessie, you're frozen.
Yeah, it did that. Yeah, I thought you froze.
Oh, okay, you're back.
It was OBS.
Zelda,
OBS crashed.
Diddy
that was
Kong.
it.
Yo, that happens with me all the time on my stream, and then it comes back.
Yeah.
Zelda, Diddy Kong, and Banjo.
Says we're back now.
I can't see us actually getting Banjo, but that would be fun.
For everyone wondering, what happened was I tried returning my live chat. Because you can click the box out to have a separate live chat, or you can click it to have it inside of your YouTube stream or whatever. And I clicked it to have it back inside my YouTube stream instead of it being separate as like a little pop-out window. And it froze by clicking. So you can blame Google Chrome and or YouTube and or both for that. I apologize, but we are back. So Geek, I don't think people were able to hear you because it did something with OBS as well. So
gotcha.
The characters that you would like to see, and I know you just said like Toad over and over and over again, but I think people would rather hear it straight from you.
I would like to have Toad and Toad as playable characters in Super Mario Party, but no, they made them like other NPCs. Anyway, my 3 favorites. I don't have 5 total, but Zelda, I honestly don't care which version. Preferably Breath of the Wild though, or Tears of the Kingdom with short hair, whatever. Diddy Kong and Banjo-Kazooie. I mean, that would be fun. But I guess Kazooie would have to just stay in the backpack unless she counted as a double dash thing. That would be fun. But no, yeah, those are 3 that I would love to have. I know the last one's a little out there, because it's a different franchise. But so we're.
Well, I mean, Nintendo and Microsoft have been like best friends lately.
True,
like they're going on dates to
Nintendo,
get ice cream and sundaes and everything,
like they would in Super Smash Brothers. They might. That'd be cool because Banjo's been in a racing game before, even before his game came out. So that would be
Rare cool. That you're talking about Diddy Kong Racing? Yeah, like that's a weird thing. Like, why was it not Donkey Kong Racing?
I think it was going to be, and then they were like, Diddy Kong is cuter or whatever. I don't know. I've seen so many videos about what happened with that, and I still don't remember.
There was a weird one where they would, it was like racing on animals that they were going to have for GameCube. I don't know. Rare's history, the N64 GameCube era, because they started on so many games for the GameCube, and then they were like, oh, like there's the biggest rumor, and I don't know if this is true, but people have done this before. Like, Microsoft purchased Rare thinking they were going to get the license for Donkey Kong, and that was one of the main reasons that they purchased them. And it turned out not to be true. And it's like, how could you be dumb enough to think that you're going to get Donkey Kong? But at the same time, there was a company a long time ago that bought the rights to all the Marvel comics to make movies. It was like before Disney acquired them. I think it was like Canon or something like that bought them. And he mainly purchased them because he heard Spider-Man. But in his mind, he confused it with Superman. So he walked into the office after he made the deal and was like, everyone, we just bought Superman. We're going to make a movie. I just had a deal go through with Marvel, and everyone at the writers' tables like, Marvel?
Marvel?
Do you mean Spider-Man? And he's like, no, Superman. Marvel, you know, the comic books, because he just assumed all the comic books were like, yeah.
That's someone you don't want in charge of things, but it could have been a slip.
Yeah, but I mean, you still got Spider-Man and DC. Everything, and I don't know. They were like, oh, so you just came out with Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers sold DC. Why would they do that? And they're like, no, Marvel. And then everyone's just like, oh my god.
Dude, they're different.
Yeah. So my take on this is Double Dash would be great, but now that we're just like going out there because you said like the Double Dash thing as DLC, which is kind of what I wanted with the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as well. But what if they had like a Diddy Kong Racing style, or not even Diddy Kong Racing style, just like a miniature adventure type mode of Mario Kart, to where like in Diddy Kong Racing there was like the hub world and then you could like drive to the areas where that you would race. And I think something like that would be a little bit cool, but I don't know.
Cool.
Like imagine making your way to a track, and you can take like different routes to get to a certain track or whatever. But on your way there, there's like Koopas or whatever, like a bunch of Koopas that are driving and trying to shoot at you and stuff. And it's like a mix of the, like you have to finish the battle mode with them on your way to the track and then you can race. I don't know. I think something like that would make it a little bit more interesting, and they wouldn't really have to do that much more work, I would imagine, to apply it, because they already have battle mode, they already have the tracks, they already have, they're like already working on these giant worlds or levels to make, I don't know, like sort of like how Super Mario 3D World was, to where like you could play almost like the overworld in that game. When you were going to the levels, you could still jump around and do like little tasks and stuff.
Yeah.
So something kind of like that. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. But I would like to see Zelda, Crispy Zombie Ganon. of course, the champions.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
At least Goron, Daruk. I almost said Darunia. Everyone would hate me if I said Darunia. But yeah, Daruk. Actually, I just...
He is cool too. It's just not a champion.
Yeah. But I don't know. I was having a conversation with Joe earlier, and completely unrelated to Zelda. Everyone thinks that, like, whenever I talk to people, they're like, oh, he's getting Breath of the Wild 2 or Tears of the King or new Zelda information. It's like, no, we just talk about wrestling.
He wouldn't share that. He knows not to do that.
Yeah, and I know not to even ask.
And if he trusts us not to say anything, he would know not to do that.
Yeah, and it's like, no, if you've seen our DMs, it would just be about, like, WWE and wrestling and stuff, and everyone would be like, oh, you suck. But yeah, we were talking...
It's almost as if they do things outside of Zelda.
Yeah, like when we there was the one podcast Daniel and I had where he came on and we just pretended like he knew absolutely nothing about any of the Zelda games, and he was just like a normal guest, and we just talked about random Nintendo news. So yeah, it was pretty cool. But I would like to see Daruk in there just because I think he was the funniest of the champions. Like Rivali or Ravioli was a bit too insulting.
Yeah.
Mifa was too love-struck. Like, I think if she was a character, then if you tried to, like, throw a red shell at Link, it would just miss. Because she would not...
She did yell at him in one of the DLCs, so... As a spirit, anyway.
Yeah. So. And, well, she was already dead. She was like, you failed me. And then there was, who was it? Urbosa was always too serious as well. But Daruk, I think he could have, like, funny lines and stuff that they could give him.
Would Daruk even fit in a cart?
Well, I mean, Bowser's there.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. It would be, like, the same weight and everything. So
yeah, I imagine it would be like somewhere between Bowser and Donkey Kong. I imagine they would have like the same strength if they're in like Smash Bros at least. Anyways, I'm getting a bit off topic. I would like to see Daruk, because you can't fill it full of all the champions, so I would just pick Daruk just out of I think he would be the funniest because of that rock roast line that he has in the game. I think that's Age of Clams. And then
yeah, I think so.
The other two, I would not have it Zelda related. I would have who's the guy that everyone wants? This would have to be worked out with Square Enix, but I forgot his name. The guy for the puppet dude from, I think it's a puppet. I don't know. It looks like a puppet. He reminds me of Puppetmon from Digimon, but he's in Super Mario All-Stars? Not Super Mario All-Stars. Jeez. Super Mario and the Super Nintendo. Is it Super Nintendo? I think it's Super Nintendo. The Super Mario RPG game.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Gino, that's his name. Gino, yes. Yes. Roberta in the chat got it. Gino. I cannot believe I forgot about that. But he always reminds me of, I always called him Puppetmon because I was watching the old Digimon anime at the time, and he just looked like Puppetmon. And then I would have Miyamoto. Because he's like the one that made all the characters anyway. So yeah, I would have Miyamoto as like the final person.
Someone mentioned having Iwata's me character.
Well,
also, actually, I'll steal one of Keeper of Lights. He said Kirby, and I'm like,
oh, Kirby.
Yes.
Wait, yeah, Kirby. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Me Kirby.
And I think they should give them as DLC. They should give everyone their own special ability as well, like an item that you can get that does like a special thing that only they can do. Like if you're Kirby, then it would just like suck in the person that's in front of you. And then like, I don't know, poop them out or something. Whatever Kirby does when he like transforms. And then you just like, you can absorb all of their question blocks or whatever. And then like Link, I don't know. He could like do Link stuff. I don't know. And then like Bowser could just like breathe out like a dozen different fireballs or something. So just something to go with them. But now, Tears of the Kingdom. I guess we're done with this.
Sorry.
So, no,
Geek husband's probably going to be home soon, and I was like, no. So I'll probably randomly mute it until he like gets somewhere and gets quiet.
Oh no, you're fine. I was very lucky. I'm staying at my cousin's right now, and they all just happened to, which is also kind of why I was late, because I was kind of waiting on them to do it because they were about to leave like right before I went live. So I was like, okay, well, I'll take a couple of minutes and then whenever they leave, that way, because young kids can sometimes be loud and dogs can sometimes be loud when there's younger people around. Actually, dogs can be loud anyways, but this dog is, yeah. Anyways, Tears of the Kingdom. There's 71 people here. I'm sure that they all tuned in to listen to us talk about Tears of the Kingdom anyways. Everyone's complaining online. Two different things that we're going to be talking about. The price point. How dare Nintendo charge $70 for a game, even though back in the 90s, you would have to pay like $80 for Ocarina of Time when it first came out. And I don't know if that's quite accurate. I'm actually about to look up right now exactly what the price point was back in the Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo days of the early and late 90s. And then we're going to do a price comparison with inflation added on to the price points of games now, because $70 is alongside the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X games. And if you have an Xbox Series S, then we just can't be friends, because those are dumb as poop, because it's like you can't even play the games. Like everyone complains about all those cloud games streaming to the Nintendo Switch and stuff. That's all the Xbox Series S is. Like you can't physically play games on the console, you stream everything, and it's like, what's even the point? Anyways, so $70 for Tears of the Kingdom. Typical Switch games are $60, but this goes alongside the current cost of Sony and Microsoft's newer games on their consoles. And I think even the price of PC games hasn't I don't know if it's still $60 or $70. I'm sure it differs. I don't really know.
Here it's 70, I believe.
For PC games? So
sorry, I think you're talking about Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like trying to look at chat and then come back.
Yeah, chat. Yeah, it's $70 here. We are in America. We are in America. I know Canada, it's like $80. I think it's like an additional $10. I don't know what prices are for other places, but we're about to do a price comparison of like the first. I won't go through all of them because that'll take quite a bit of time, but we'll look at like the first NES game, the first SNES game, the first N64 game, and the first GameCube game, because we can all just kind of remember back for the Wii era. And then we can do like a price comparison, because there was Super Nintendo and N64 games that were like $80 back in the 90s, and that would be like $140, $150, $160 now. So people were like, oh my god, this game's so expensive. And it's like, no, it's actually a lot cheaper than it would have been 30 years ago, because otherwise you'd be paying $150 for Tears of the Kingdom, not just $70. But yes, Geek, give your thoughts on this, and I will look up the information.
So we were actually just talking about this on my live stream like an hour ago. Funny enough, my mom was in the chat, and she was like, I remember paying like $70-$80 for y'all's N64 games and things like that. So the fact that prices have stayed relatively the same despite inflation being a huge thing is kind of crazy. And I know some people will also complain like, well, why is it the same price to get digital versus a hard copy? Shouldn't it be more for a hard copy than it is the digital? I'm sure there's other factors to it, because you're having to download everything. I think there's a difference between when you can put the cartridge in versus a digital download. Also, it could just be you're getting the box for free. It's not like we get manuals or anything anymore with it, which I do kind of miss, how we would get like those little instruction manuals. Now it's just box cartridge. But I like having the cartridge. It could be that cartridges are more expensive to make than discs, although other companies use discs. A lot of people might argue, well, it's easier to mass manufacture stuff now, so it still should be cheaper. But I know there was a video by oh shoot, the guy who made his own channel, Japanese and English, who did Super Smash Brothers and Kirby. Why am I blanking on his name? Sakurai. And he actually mentioned that in the video. He's like, to me, games are actually extremely cheap. When you think about all the stuff that goes into it, they should be more expensive. But people know which games are going to sell, so they have to really rely on huge sales to make up for what they kind of lose, if you will, by selling the game so cheap. I mean, it's expensive for us because, you know, all the stuff that happens with inflation and everything, it can be really difficult. The taxes that go on top of it and everything. But I don't think it's that expensive. Like, you look at what these games are and what goes into them, that's an insanely great price. Or someone in my stream put it, you know, you pay $14 to go to a 2-hour movie. That's $7 an hour. So if you had to pay $7 per hour for your time put into Breath of the Wild, that would be a lot of money, which I know it's different. Movie and game is different. But you're even interacting with it more, which I mean, movies might be considered more expensive, but games are pretty expensive now to make. It's like really, you know, A tier, S tier games like we have with Nintendo. That's why some games are cheaper. Obviously, like I paid $5 for Among Us. That's not a big AAA game, whereas Tears of the Kingdom is. So yes, it kind of is annoying when it's like, oh, but I've been paying $60. I don't want to pay that extra $10, but at the same time, I know Tears of the Kingdom is going to be well worth it. I love Tears of the Kingdom. If it's not worth it to you, don't buy it. But it's not a crazy amount of money, especially when you compare to the fact that it's the same price, if not less, than how games used to cost. When you
Yes.
think about the 90s, us paying $80 for a game, when inflation, like the inflation we have now, hadn't occurred, like back then eggs were a lot cheaper too, and now they're like $7. So I don't think it's that bad.
I want to, on that exact note, I just looked up I did the first Zelda game on NES. This is the the American prices. For the first Zelda game, A Link to the Past, and then Ocarina of Time. I'll do a full video comparing what it was for each individual Zelda game, even the handheld Zelda games, in a separate scripted video that I actually started working on yesterday or the day before. But I'm going to show you on my phone. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but here it says in 1986, The Legend of Zelda was released with a retail price of $49.99 or $53.49 if you're in the... Okay.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, it went out. Sorry about that. Went out again, everyone. Sorry. I guess the video's too much for OBS to handle. No, I did not bump another button, Tara. Be nice. So, $49.99 in 1986 for The Legend of Zelda. And in today's money, that $50 would be $137.24. So it'd be like $140 for that $50 game back in 1986. For Super Nintendo, A Link to the Past was actually it doesn't have it here. I'll skip this for now, but I'll go to Ocarina of Time and I'll come back to A Link to the Past once I find it. But Ocarina of Time on release was $80 at launch.
Ooh.
But I think on some places had it for $60. But that $80 at launch in and this was I did for 1996, even though the game came out in 1998. But that's because most games were around $80 on the Nintendo 64, but that would come to $153.39 today. So,
wow.
Even just 20 years ago or less, or no, it'd be a little bit more than 20 years ago. The price of buying games would be like $80. And I knew it was $80 because I remember being in Walmart when Majora's Mask released. But that's also a little bit different because you... actually, no, I don't even think it came with the cartridge. You had to buy one to play it. The memory expansion pack.
That was Majora's Mask.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying, because I don't think it came with the game. You had to buy it separately. And I remember... there's a funny story.
Donkey Kong, it came with it.
Yeah, Donkey Kong, it had to, because the game was unplayable without it because it had a bug in it that... they didn't even fix... They didn't fix the bug. They just... it caused the game to slowly use up more RAM as time went on, but they felt that with the expansion pack, it would just use... Like you'd have to leave the game running for like 24 hours or 48 hours or something before it would shut off or freeze. So otherwise it would have been like shutting off in like 5 minutes or something like that. But
also, I tried to find the price for A Link to the Past. I also can't find it.
Yeah, I'm sure that it's somewhere, but I'm going to be doing a video where it's comparing the price of each game at the time and also their Japanese price as well. Also, I see my little brother in the chat earlier, 𝗟𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗆. Hi, Jared. If anyone else has any questions, please get them ready or post them and tag either Geek or I, and whenever we finish, we will use them for the Zelda mailbag. But our next bit of controversy that we want to talk about is the Tears of the Kingdom marketing. A lot of people are upset. They're like, oh, Nintendo's not doing anything for the marketing and stuff. And I'm saying, like, there's a bunch of people looking forward to PAX this week thinking, but Nintendo said there wasn't going to be Tears of the Kingdom at PAX or something like that, that some people have said, but they've also said that some people have Roman Reigns is in the chat, apparently. It's an inside joke for people that watch WWE because someone said acknowledge me. That's his quote. But people think that it might be at PAX, but Nintendo's had times when they went to like New York Comic-Con where 𝗷𝗎𝗆 had interviews, and he was asked like, oh, when's the next time that we're going to be able to see something from Breath of the Wild, because it was when Breath of the Wild was not out yet. Yeah. And he was like, well, I actually planned on showing it off today, but then whenever I woke up this morning, I felt that it wasn't ready to show off. So it's like they can come planning on showing something and decide that day that they don't want to show it. And then there's been times when they weren't planning on showing anything, and then they did show something, like the first piece of artwork that we got for Skyward Sword. They weren't planning on showing, but then they did. And what else is there? Yeah, so the marketing thing, people think that they might show it off at PAX, but Nintendo said that they weren't going to, or I haven't really seen Nintendo say they weren't going to, but some people have been claiming that. And then I think it might be more likely they do something at GDC, which is next week, I think. But that's just more so because never mind. They might show something at GDC. And I think that would be more likely than at PAX. And but Nintendo still might show some stuff at PAX because PAX are the people that are doing E3 this year. Since they purchased E3, or they are the ones that are running the event, however that works. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Everyone's like, Nintendo's not doing anything to promote Tears of the Kingdom. We don't know anything about the game.
Like, people will be like, oh, I have to see more combat. Oh, I have to see all this stuff. I'm like, did you play Breath of the Wild? If you enjoy Breath of the Wild, you're going to enjoy Tears of the Kingdom. Like, do you know Nintendo? Now, maybe Breath of the Wild was your first experience with Zelda, and therefore you don't have a lot of Nintendo experience. But it's always my cop-out answer, which is I trust Nintendo. I know it's going to be a great game. Is it going to be everyone's favorite? Probably not. A lot of people hated Breath of the Wild. Most people at least enjoyed it, and a lot of us very much enjoyed it. I see the reasoning. I understand why people are saying, oh, they need to do better marketing strategies. We need to be able to play a little bit at PAX East. And again, maybe it's too trustful, but I'm like, they have reasons. There are reasons why they're not showing this stuff off, why maybe they weren't able to prepare stuff in time. None of us work in the gaming industry. None of us work there in Japan with them, or even in Nintendo of America and higher gaming positions. So we don't know 100%. We can make speculations. I've seen a lot of videos on why they need to show it at PAX East, but they're not. So there's that. I don't have a lot of great thoughts on it. It's like I can't speak too much to the reasoning why people think there's not enough marketing, but I feel like there's great marketing, and maybe they are just playing to those of us that will automatically buy it, but I don't want to say I don't care, but it's gonna sell. Like it's not like they haven't shown anything. The trailers have shown a lot. And again, I never saw the art book, but my understanding from people that I've talked to who have seen the art book, there's a lot they haven't shown us. So that just tells me, see, Nintendo had stuff all along. They don't have to show everything because then there's no surprises. Not that they can't show more. They probably could. There probably will still be another trailer. To me, it feels like people just wanting to complain. I'm like, the game's going to be great. I don't know why you're doubting, but that's just me. Also, I do have to be off sooner than I thought. I have to be off by 4.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I can do the Q&A after you leave, but we can also, I just sent you a link for the Kahoot thing. People that want to join on Kahoot, we can play that really quick. I'll talk more about Tears of the Kingdom after she leaves, and I'll answer some of your questions, and maybe we can, if we hurry and get it done, maybe she can answer a question of her own. So yes, I sent you the link on Discord, everyone.
I will need the code because I play it on my phone.
No, I sent you a link. I think you can just click it and then it'll directly take you to it.
Right, but I play it on my phone, so I have to have the code there.
Oh, okay.
I can't play it on my laptop.
It is 343 6625. And there are 2 questions at the beginning that aren't Wind Waker related, but most of this is Wind Waker related. So I think there's Link's Awakening and stuff. So everyone, you can play on your shoe, you can play on your phone, you can play on your tablet, you can play on your cell phone, you can play on your laptop, you can play on your PC. If you have one of those fridges that Bethesda talked about whenever they were joking with the whole Skyrim thing being playable on your fridge, I'm sure someone's actually made it happen if you check YouTube. But you can join this link. We have Jazzy in the chat. We have Geek in the chat. We have Medora in the chat. It is 343-6625 to join. You don't need to make a profile. You don't need to put your email address in. You just need to come in, put whatever name you want to make, as long as it's appropriate. And then 343-6625 as the code. And I'm hoping I can click this. There we go. That kind of works. Let me fix the image here, and then I can add. Why is it not? Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm fixing the window for Geek and I, and then I think there should be, I can add the actual screen for Kahoot to the bottom. That way people can follow along if they are not playing. Now, the rules are, it does not matter if you answer all the questions correct, it just matters if you answer the questions first.
And correct.
Yeah, correct. Yes, that is a thing, but I mean, I'm not going to fault you for getting them wrong, but the game will.
I answered super fast.
Yeah, see, there we go. So people can follow along. It's on there now. It has the number as well. 343-6625. We have 7 people. I think 3 more can join. Whoever wants to play. Jared. Oh, is that my brother? I think my brother's playing along. Okay.
Wow.
Do you have anything that you're specifically looking forward to in Tears of the Kingdom before we continue on?
Story and music. I actually just recorded a video, a list of 50 things to look forward to in Tears of the Kingdom. So that'll be up hopefully the end of next week.
Nice. All right, we have 8 people. Again, do not wait for me to answer the questions. Or
to say the question.
Yeah, to say the questions.
Because we're behind.
Follow
you guys are behind us.
Yeah, you guys are behind for a few seconds. So don't wait for me to ask the questions. Don't follow along on the computer unless you're not playing, or on the live stream unless you're not playing. Follow it on your tablet or your cell phone or your shoe or whatever. And I hope this is one that did not have any of the answers incorrectly inputted. If it... Oh, okay, there we go. There's 2 people joining last minute. So we have Link, Jared5, Orange Link, The Missing Link, Blue Jay, Lauren, with a reef or a reek, I don't know. Keeper and Link, Medora, Jazzy, and Geek. I like the avatar they gave you, Geek. It's like all healthy.
Oh, I changed it.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, we're starting. We are starting. Welcome to Bear in the Big Blue House. Wind Waker Trivia. 3, 2, 1. What was the last Zelda game with a magic bar? Majora's Mask, A Link Between Worlds, Wind Waker, Link's Awakening, Switch.
I have no idea. Also, I'm about to mute this in a second until my husband gets
you're fine.
Settled in. Oh.
Yes, it was Wind Waker with the magic leaf, and there was some other stuff that had magic.
I think The Link Between Worlds had a magic bar.
It had like a weird stamina bar type thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So A Link Between Worlds, 4 people chose that, 0 chose Majora's Mask, 1 person chose Link's Awakening on the Switch, 5 people chose Wind Waker. Next question. Link is on top, Keeper of Link, Missing Link, Lauren, and Orange Link. Good for Orange Link. 2 of 10. Which is the first dungeon in Link's Awakening? Daniel's Basement, Bottle Grotto, Key Cavern, Till Cave.
I was torn between 2. I'm not 100% sure. I think I picked the wrong one. Played it like 2 years ago.
We're waiting on 1 person to answer. Someone hasn't answered. Who's it going to be? 3, 2. Oh, there it is. Okay. 2 people chose Bottle Grotto.
Terribly.
2 people chose Key Cavern. 6 people chose Till Cave. Have you played through Link's Awakening? Geek? Okay, you're muted. Okay. Missing Link is in first. Keeper and Link is in second. Link's in third. Jazzy is in fourth. And Uluje is in fifth. Next. 3 of 10. In Wind Waker, why was Tingle imprisoned? He is Tingle. Stealing. Arguing. Annoyance. 1 person said he is Tingle. Yes, he got arrested for being Tingle. They are racist against all Tingles. Actually, Tingle should have been in prison for kidnapping, but that's a different story. 6 people chose stealing. 0 chose arguing. 3 chose annoyance. I think some people went for the joke answer on that one. No, he stole the camera, didn't he? Or he stole... I don't know. There's something he stole. Who's here? The Keeper and Link is in first. Link's in second. Jazzy third. Medora fourth. Missing Link fifth. Question 4 of 10. Who is the Kabloom guy in Wind Waker? Zenari, Daniel, Salvatore, Karlov. Boop, ba, boom, ba, boopity doo. 1 person chose Zenari. Wrong. I think he's the shop owner. Daniel, no one chose. Good for you. Salvatore, 5 people chose. Karlov, 4 people chose. I don't remember who Karlov is. Oh, Geek, you're on the stadium now. You're in 5th place. Let's see if you can make it up. You're not too far behind. I don't think every... yeah. Medora's in 2nd. Jassie's in 1st. Lauren's in 3rd. Keeper and Link's in 4th. Geek's in 5th. Let's go. 5 of 10. Who is Salvatore's barrel shoot minigame located? Where is Salvatore's barrel minigame located? Daniel's Basement, Windfall Island, Great Fish Isle, the Spectacle Isle. I'll give you a hint. It is not Great Fish or Daniel's Basement. I don't think it's Great Fish Isle, because I think Great Fish Isle is the one that they removed from the game. 1 second. 2 people chose Windfall Island, 2 people chose Great Fish Isle, 6 people chose Spectacle Isle. Next question. Wait, what? You're not... Did you get that one wrong, Geek? I'm sorry. Medora's in 1st, Lauren 2nd, Jazzy 3rd, Lujay 4th, The Missing Link 5th. 6 of 10. In the original Wind Waker, how many Triforce shards must Link collect? 3, 5, 7, 8. 1 person chose 5, 3 chose 7, 7 chose 8. 8 was the correct answer. Medora's in 1st, Jazzy 2nd, Lujay 3rd, Lauren 4th, Keeper of Link, or Keeper and Link in 5th. 7 of 10. In Wind Waker, where does Link find the Master Sword? The Temple of Time, Korok Forest, Hyrule Castle, Daniel's Kitchen. 3 people chose Temple of Time, 7 people chose Hyrule Castle. It is Hyrule Castle. I don't remember. Is the Temple of Time in the...
Oh, I didn't see Hyrule Castle as an option.
Oh, okay.
I missed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was half talking, half paying attention.
Oh,
not really.
You're fine. Most people see Temple of Time and they're like, yep, Temple of Time, Master Sword, that's it.
Which I did just play Ocarina of Time, so I'm doing terribly.
Next question. Where does Link obtain the power bracelets? He doesn't. Forsaken Fortress, Fire Mountain, Earth Temple.
I totally picked the wrong one. I don't know why I picked the one I did. That was 100% the wrong one, and I should not have picked it. Wait, it was?
3 people said he doesn't. 4 people said Fire Mountain. 3 people said Earth Temple. It was Fire Mountain, I believe.
I got that one right somehow.
Medora's in 1st, Keeper and Link in 2nd, Jazzy 3rd, Lujay 4th, Lauren 5th. 9 of 10. In Wind Waker, who is the new sage of the Wind Temple? The new sage, Fado, Medley, Laruto, Makar.
I was thinking of the Earth Temple.
1 person said Fado, 3 said Medley, 6 said Makar. You would have gotten this one correct. I was thinking of the Earth Temple. Final question. Jared 5 is in 5th place, so I guess that's my little brother. So he's ranked. Yeah. Good for you. Medora, Keeper and Link, Jazzy, Lauren, and Jared 5. Last question. In Wind Waker, how many shields does Link obtain? 1, 2, 3. Bananas.
The banana.
The answer is not bananas. Do not listen to Geek. 10 people said 2.
Got it right.
2 was correct. Everyone got it correct. Good for you.
2.
Wind Waker.
I did way better with the last time we played with Dawn Monster Maze.
Yeah. 3rd place was Jazzy. 2nd was Keeper and Link. 1st is Medora. It looks very scary. All right, good job, everyone. Geek, I know you have to go. You have about maybe 10 minutes. Do you have time to answer one question from the chat before we take off?
I do.
Also, thank you,
or should I check Discord?
McKay. Yeah, Discord might have it on there. I didn't have time to put them in the document. I'll check Discord as well. Also, I posted on Twitter, so I want to check there as well.
That's probably a good idea.
Boom, 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 boom. The music's still playing from the game, so I'll turn that off.
Oh, there was one today.
Yes.
Hold on.
Everyone, put in your questions to be answered. Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo. If you need help on how to tie your shoes, we will help you with that.
Okay. I don't know how to pronounce this, but it starts with a B. 𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗀𝗃𝗃. What is the first thing you will do in Tears of the Kingdom?
Ooh, nice.
Cry.
Noise.
I mean, it'll be me. Shut up.
You'll need an inhaler because you'll be out of breath.
No, I won't need an inhaler. Not that dramatic. I mean, I know they mean in terms of like actually do in the game. I will go somewhere and go to first person view and cry because the game is real and I'm excited. What is the first thing you will do?
The first thing I do. Meticulously stare at everything. Like, I'll get close up because I imagine we'll be going to the caves pretty soon, so I'll be trying to like look at all the different designs on the caves, like the art, cave art and stuff that we've seen.
Yeah.
Same for the introduction. ZOEY and I aren't real. I'm not excited to play. I don't think newcomers the same here. I'm going to bed. Just ridiculous to make 𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀. It looks recycled. Zelda is playable. There will be introduced 𝗍𝗏𝗄𝗧. A lot of 𝗍𝗏𝗄𝗧. I'm scared. Alright, do you see another question? One from the chat this time? I'm trying to look on Twitter to see if anyone posted, but I can't find any because they also posted for people to give their Tears of the Kingdom hot takes, and everyone's like, I hope there's 𝗍𝗏𝗄𝗧.
I'll do two because one of them's pretty quick answering.
Cool.
Julie Burns asked, do you think it'll be 2-player? I don't, / I also don't want it to be 2-player. That's a hot take. I don't want it to be 2-player. And Jazzy asks, do you have a favorite obscure enemy from the Nintendo game? From any Nintendo game. WhizzBangs.
WhizzBangs. Yes.
If anyone even gets that. It's not an obscure enemy. Actually no. Obscure enemy, that one they actually mentioned in the Mario trailer where Bowser's like, you know, Goombas, Koopalings, whatever those things are. And they just look all sad. Those things.
Alright. Do you have time for one more?
Yes.
And I think we might make this the final question as well.
Works for me.
Keeper of Light says, I have 2 Tears of the Kingdom discussion questions for you again from the Keeper from Germany. The first question,
Yay.
How do you think the scene changed? How do you think the scene changed for the... Wait, what happened? Okay, never mind. How do you think the scene changed for the underground, where Link and Zelda find Ganondorf? Nothing in the latest trailer matches 2019 anymore, so what do you think is different? Does the glowing hand still exist? How big will the cave system be? The plate Ganondorf is standing on has also changed from 2019 to 23. Second question, a magazine about Nintendo called Nintendo Dream says that a new ability, I think that is Nintendo's magazine in Japan, says that a new ability in Tears of the Kingdom will be revealed next Monday. If this is true, it seems that there will indeed be more ability. What do you think it will be? Maybe an ability to create flat platforms similar to Cryonis. I think Cryonis, whatever it's called. I think we are going to get new versions of abilities that perfectly match those abilities, plus more.
That makes sense. I agree with that. As far as what changed in the trailers, there could be significant changes, but I was assuming that it was just that was early development, or like they probably did a lot, but what we got in the last trailer was more finalized and much closer to what we're actually going to get in game. Not necessarily that things changed. It totally could be that though. You see that all the time with trailers for anything, even films. You find that you're like, wait, they showed this thing in the film, and it turns out it was a deleted scene or whatever. But yeah, I think that was more of a cosmetic change in the sense that they just changed some angling and what they wanted to show. I noted this last time was on. I think it was last time I was on that the way Ganondorf throws his head backs and turns is different between the last trailer and the first one. As in the first teaser trailer back in 2019. The angle is different. This last one was more straight on. So I just think it's a cosmetic change. I agree with you about the arm. And then as far as the rumors that we're going to get more stuff, I know we're probably going to get one more trailer, but I can't really speak to anything else.
I think we'll get at least 2 or 3 more trailers. I think there'll be a trailer for the amiibo. And showing off what all the different amiibo do. I think we'll get a trailer for the collector's edition console thing whenever they announce it. And I think we'll get a trailer for just the game, and like one more trailer for the game in general. And then we'll get trailers after it releases as well, because they always have the accolades trailer where it's like 9.5 or 9.9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 or whatever, and all the reviews and stuff. So they always do that. And then they also have a release date trailer that drops on the release date, showing off the game, be like available now and blah 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 and stuff like that. So I think we'll get 2 after, but I think we'll get at least 2 or 3 more before the game releases. Although again, one might just be like, oh, here's the Tears of the Kingdom Switch edition and whatever, or it'll be like, here's new amiibo for the game, here's what it does, or it'll be something like announcing the DLC officially, which I also think we're going to be able to get. I think you're right. Different angles and stuff with his first question. I think that'll be a big thing to where, or not really a big thing, but I think that was one of the major things that I noticed in the trailer, because I think it was in my video of the my breakdown of the trailer. I was like, this scene is matching this scene, but now it's from like a wide shot instead of close up on their hands. But even if you did get close up on their hands, if you notice in the previous trailer, it looks like it's literally right next to the cliff. But in the new trailer, they look like they're pretty far away, because instead of Zelda falling or Link falling and someone grabbing the hand like right next to the side of the cliff, now it looks like it was like a running jump to catch her, and there's like 6-8 feet from the edge of the cliff as opposed to a few inches. So obviously that changed, and I think maybe to make it more dramatic, if like instead of Link just like dropping down to catch her, now he's running and leaping to catch her. And then maybe after he catches her, we see that hand catching Link that pulls him up or whatever, because there is the hand that's catching Link, but we also see Link catching Zelda in the first trailer. But yeah, I think a lot of that has changed, and it's just different camera angles or whatever. And I think they even said like gameplay is subject to change or whatever in that original trailer, or like not actual gameplay.
They'll say this footage is not final, or things like that.
It said something like that in the first trailer that we seen a long time ago. And so I think like as time went on, they just like went back and redid some stuff. So it's still similar, but it's just different versions of that. And what else? I was going to say something else. Forgot what it was. Oh well. Maybe that I'll think of it later and post it online or something. I forget, everyone. I'm sorry. But Geek, that was the very end. This is kind of a short, well put together podcast. I think we went for a little bit over an hour.
To the point.
Yeah, an hour and 10 minutes. We got 2 minutes left. Thank you for joining. Do you want to tell everyone where they can find you really quick?
YouTube. Geek Apprentice.
That's
basically it.
Yeah.
I stream and I make videos.
There are links to everything in the description below. You had a live stream earlier, and the Animal Crossing video that you posted like a month ago that's been popping up on my to watch list all the time.
My first video to get over 100,000. It's insane.
Yeah. So congrats on that, everyone. Please go check her out. If you want to check out my stuff, it's all @GameOverJessie at GameOverJessie. It's all in the description below, and you can follow anything from Geek in the description below as well. The Geek Apprentice, or TGA Geekdom, I think.
Twitter is TGA_Geekdom, but I just promote myself there.
All right, and please, everyone, have a wonderful day, and remember, ice arrows do not exist. And I will be trying to put timestamps in the description below for people that want to come back and watch certain areas